Seoraksan National Park, Simdoe. Konpyeolshin, where the landscape opens further. Ardfensel de Vielsoorschwang, drawing the viewer quietly inward. Observed more closely, without interruption, Persman. As movement reveals itself quietly across the same space, seen again from above, held within the same moment, carried forward at a human pace, without urgency. Swipe. Held briefly in the details that remained unnoticed. As the same space reveals itself from another direction, and remaining still, as everything continues within the same moment. Where traces of human presence settle quietly into the landscape. Remaining present through structures shaped by long coexistence, allowing the space to be understood by moving around it rather than through it. Easing outward, where human traces begin to dissolve back into the terrain. Opening outward again, where the land quietly reclaims the frame. The Fode, rising in weight and presence, as the terrain asserts itself quietly. Also, settling again at eye level, where movement feels measured and near, perceived through layers, as the space reveals itself in fragments, opening into distance, where the landscape settles into quiet scale.
Held in balance, as the place remains exactly as it is.
Drawing inward, where attention settles and the moment deepens. Moving quietly across the moment, where stillness gathers depth. Where what has passed feels quietly retained within the place itself, as presence returns quietly, continuing without interruption, held within a wider presence, where movement remains part of the whole, carried forward at a walking pace, where presence is felt step by step. Moving again, now slightly altered in direction, extending forward, as distance slowly becomes part of the moment, opening fully, where scale settles without demanding attention, settling back inward, where vastness gives way to quiet awareness. Close enough to sense the ground beneath each step, lifting the gaze, where space opens without leaving the moment. Held in balance, where nothing asks to change. Where time remains present, without needing to move. Continuing quietly, almost unnoticed. Thunkfund, nearing stillness, without yet arriving, and remaining, with nothing left to add. Everything now aligned, waiting without expectation.
Fake, and nothing more is required.
Still here, even after the silence.
The world remains, even when no one stays. At the edge of view, it continues to be.
Allowing the eyes to rest without leaving.
And every small trace belongs to something larger.
And the moment gently fades.
Lo, Min, even after silence, the place remains.
Died, and it continues without us. Life moves through without asking to be noticed.
Some things keep moving, even when everything feels still.
Before movement, there was form.
Even light moves, quietly.
Tunsin, beneath it all, the forest holds.
The land reveals itself, layer by layer.
Own depth gathers quietly. Golden, where the forest meets the open air. Light passes, but the ground remembers.
Depth appears when the forest is allowed to stand still. Footsteps remain, even when the forest is empty. Below, the land opens and continues breathing. One presence holds its place within the open land.
Even the smallest edge holds the distance within it.
Height reveals itself when nothing moves. Even the smallest mark carries a long memory.
Flow,
And it remains.